So before we get started, I just wanted to say that I'm having more mic issues, and so the audio might be a little different this time. I hope that's okay, but stick around for a good episode. And so speaking authentically has always been my reality. It was just, the last few years that I started doing it on social media. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Lily and I'm a Chinese transracial adoptee. Every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, I post videos about my experience as a transracial adoptee. So if that's something you're interested in, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into the video. So hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a good week and surviving the summer, although I don't know, by the time you watch this, will it still be really hot out? I am filming this in the middle of July and it is 103 degrees out. So I am, staying inside. Also because there's a pandemic going on. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people, they were rightfully angry for me that I get asked this question. And the question is, why do your parents let you talk about adoption the way you do? And I have had people ask me this. I've had people ask other people this question. How do they let her talk about this? How do they let her do this? And then it gets back to me. My first response to that is, the environment that I grew up in was always very safe and supportive. And even though there were areas that we could have had more education, even though there were complexities and there were always hard conversations to be had, I never was invalidated or made to feel like I was being ungrateful or anything just for speaking my truth. I was able to say whatever I wanted. I was able to feel whatever I wanted about my adoption, about race, about family, about anything. And I was not at a risk of being abandoned again. And so speaking authentically has always been my reality. It was just, the last few years that I started doing it on social media. So people were rightfully angry for me that I get asked this question, because the first response from them is, you're an adult. You don't need permission to speak about these things. And that is very true. I am turning 26 soon, and I don't think anybody should really be censoring me or telling me what I can and cannot say about my own life. So that's the first thing. But I also really believe that people, no matter what age you are, should be able to live authentically and should be able to express their feelings and emotions about their own story without being afraid of backlash and being abandoned again. Younger children may not have the language to really express what they're feeling, but if a young adoptee is feeling grief for their biological family, I believe that they should be able to express that grief, and I think it's healthy to express that grief and process it. So yeah, like being an adult now, I should be able to own my own story and everything, but I think anybody should be able to. And I think really the only way to process and to heal and become someone who is comfortable with their own identity and their own story is to speak up about these things. And so there was never like a certain age where my parents decided, okay, she turned 15, she turned 18, she turned 20, now we're gonna let her say whatever she wants. That was not a thing for me. It was just from the time that I can remember and I could verbalize what I was feeling, I was able to say whatever I wanted. And so yeah, maybe that makes some people uncomfortable, and I can definitely see why my fellow adoptees are just so mad for me that people ask the question, like, how do your parents let you advocate and how do they let you just talk about these things? And it's like, this is something that everybody should be able to have. Everybody should be in this environment that is safe and supportive, and they can be themselves without fear and without judgment. I think this is one of the reasons why I get so upset and sometimes triggered when I see adoptive parents invalidating others or invalidating me or derailing my conversation for their own purpose, because I had never experienced that before. And the first time I really did was when I just dove right into the adoption community in my 20s, thinking that I would still be in this safe, supportive environment, and suddenly realizing it is not like this at all. Because there's just constant tone policing and censoring, or, you know, kicking adoptees out of groups and stuff because we're trying to share our experiences, knowing that younger adoptees are going to grow up and learn how to verbalize what we felt. And it's just this continuous cycle. Yeah, I just get confused, really, when people ask, like, how do your parents let you talk about these things? And I'm like, my parents wanted me to talk about this, because when I talk about these emotions and the more complex stuff, they figure out where I need to be supported. They figure out what they need to do to help me. Because if I'm just saying, oh, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's great, then they have no clue what's going on. And I don't know, maybe some people want that because they're so stuck in this adoption is a blessing and there's absolutely no complexity with it and now everything's perfect. But life isn't like that. Humans aren't perfect, and we're going to go through life with challenges and struggles. And to fully support someone, you need to genuinely understand and validate everything they're going through. I guess that's the video today. It was short because, I mean, there's really not much to say. People need a safe and supportive environment, and they should be allowed to live their lives authentically. And there's not a special magical age where suddenly people are allowed to do that. That should just be a basic human right. But unfortunately it's not, which is why I get questions such as, why do your parents let you do this? And then fellow adoptees see that and they're like, what do you mean let her? Like, she's an adult, she lives her own life. So yeah, be supportive, validate others, and help us create these safe spaces. If you are interested in more videos, you can always check out these two right here. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.